Hiya. I'm going to go for a really brightening, luminous makeup today. Nothing too specific, but more things that are going to reflect the light and just add a bit of glow to the skin. So I'm going to start with this Honest Beauty Hydrogel Cream. Now, I've not used this before. I've chosen a few things to use today, actually, that I've not used before. But yesterday, I was reading Sally Hughes's column in The Guardian, and she'd done a roundup of some of her favourite products from 2020, and this was one of them, and she said that your makeup goes on really well over it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one in action. Now, one of the things I would say today is that I've definitely got quite prominent rosacea, a bit more prominent than it's been recently. So I'm going to take some CC illumination in a nice light layer all over, and then press a little bit more onto those cheeks. I mean, you can see instantly it does cover it. But one of the things I think you always know about your own skin is that I know that after a few hours, those areas of redness can start to show through. And ideally, I'd like to have achieved a makeup where I can just forget about it for the rest of the day and know that those areas are covered. So once I've done this nice sheer layer all over, I'm going to go back in and just press a little bit more onto those red areas. For now, I'm still doing a little bit of buffing. Some of the other new things I'm going to have a little play with are, there's a Charlotte Tilbury palette that I was talking to Suzanne about the other day. She'd asked me what the kind of consistency of the shadows was like, so I'm going to have a little play with that one. And just generally a few bits and pieces from the last month that I thought I would have a bit of a play with. And to be honest, sometimes it's quite nice to have a play with new things on a bad skin day, because you kind of need things to hold up when you're having something going on and not just, you know, when you're having a good skin day. So a little press of extra coverage on those cheeks. Now this CC cream has a luminous pearliness built into it, but if you don't wear something that's already got that luminosity in it and you want that extra bit of a glow, you could take something like illuminating drops or an illuminating primer. I'm just having a look at where I'm going next. I'm going to put some powders on, and that will give you the same kind of luminosity if you just mix it into your everyday foundation. Now, because this is so luminous, and I do love that, but I don't want it to be really shiny down the centre of my face, because that's where you can dip over from luminous into sweaty. So I'm going to make that middle zone nice and matte and go on to these eyeshadows. Now, I just wanted to show you, if you have been a fan of Charlotte Tilbury from the beginning like me, sorry, I've got a hair or something on my nose. Years ago, I think it was her first Christmas, I mean, you can see the state of this palette. She brought out this Fallen Angel palette, and it was a limited edition. I think it's my favourite one she's ever done. But the shadows were kind of, I want to say foiled, but it's not as high shine as that. But they were very shimmery, and it's a different kind of texture to her original quads. And that's what I would say these limited editions are like that she's brought out. So this is the one you were asking me after, Suzanne, the Star Aura palette. This kind of lightish shade here, I'm going to take a big brush and use this to highlight everywhere. That's one thing I'd always encourage you to do, is, you know, think outside the box with your products. If there's something else you want to do with them, if you've got a gorgeous cream blusher, there's nothing to say you couldn't also use it as a lipstick, or vice versa. If you've got a lovely lipstick shade, try it on your cheeks. I'm going to take this as a highlight, and this colour seems to have a little bit more shimmer to it than the others. Now I'm going to take a little bit on this cheekbone, but as you saw, there's a bit of textured redness there. I'm not going to go as far in as that, because if I put highlighter on texture, it's going to do its job and highlight it. That's not what we want. But what I do want is, when I look from side to side, for you to be able to just see a little bit of that glow. And I'm going on the Cupid's bow. I've got a tinted lip balm on already, but that's about it for now. Okay, sometimes with shimmers like this, you're just as well to use your finger. It can sometimes pick up a bit more product. So I'm going to start with that kind of dusky pink and take that all over the lids. Now you'll notice that I didn't set the lids with any powder once I'd taken my foundation, well, my CC cream over them. And because it's a little bit tacky, it will just help to, what's the word I'm looking for, hold that shadow. And I'm actually delighted with the colour payoff from using my finger. Sometimes as well, if you're in a rush, just go in with your finger and it's that bit quicker to buff on. Now, I've got my highlighter shade, I've got that shade. As much as I don't want anything too harsh, I just want to break that up a bit. So I'm going to go in with this nice shimmery bronzy brown on a fluffy brush. This is a MAC 217. And I'm just going to take that above the crease and through this socket and create a little divide between the two. And just kick that out nice and soft in that outer corner so that it almost buffs out into nothing. And then the nice thing about this, let's just say if you had this on during the day, it would really be quite simple to add a bit of that brown under here, deepen that corner, and then you've really quickly taken that makeup from a really simple, pretty day look to ready for your evening in a really short amount of time. Isn't it amazing? It's just gone really dark in the video. I hope you can still see. But it's 2 p.m. and the sun's already going in. It's just one of those. Okay, because I'm going for something really brightening, I'm going to take, this is the Peaches eyeliner in Papyrus. This is pretty much, it's very sharp actually, so I'm going to take some of the excess off on the back of my hand. This is pretty much a similar colour to my complexion, but putting this in the waterline will knock out any red or blue or tiredness. So if you can find something that's pretty much your complexion colour and take it in that waterline, it's just an extra bit brightening. Now, because that looks quite savage, going from white to my complexion, I am actually going to do what I said I wasn't going to do. Take a tiny bit of that brown, just a small bit, nothing too heavy, and add a little touch of it under that lash line to just frame the whole thing and make it quite an obvious part of the makeup, as opposed to something that looks a bit strange. Okay, now, big revelation for me. I know it is like the oldest trick in the book. I'm always curling my lashes these days. I think the difference when you curl them is just that you really see the length of your lashes. And I find that even if I've gone really simple with my makeup and I've just gone for, you know, some CC cream and mascara, for example, you feel really put together. So I'm not skipping this step anymore. Curling those lashes. And another thing, just before I do my mascara, so funny, my friend said to me this morning, have you been doing something different? There's something a little bit different about your face. I don't know whether it's your eyes or your eyebrows. And I've actually been drawing my eyebrows on a tiny bit thicker. What I'm doing is kind of following, oh gosh, I've gone a bit over there, never mind. Kind of following the bottom of the brow as it is, but then going a tiny bit deeper as I go upwards. So I'll show you what I mean now. It's kind of tracing ever so slightly above the top of the eyebrow, but I really think that it gives like quite a lifted finish to the eye, and it kind of looks a bit more youthful, a bit more wide awake. So we were laughing that it was like the subtlest change, and she knew something was different, but she didn't know what. But yes, if you are feeling a little bit tired, I would recommend this going all for it on the brows technique. How am I doing for time? 10 minutes. Okay, to finish, what I'm going to do, get my mascara on, obviously. And then I'm going to just go for a really simple, neutral nude lip. As always, using a bit of lip liner to plump the lips up first. And then a nice, soft, creamy lippy. Now, as you can see, there's quite a harsh line there. I'm literally going to tickle that away using the brush at the end of the pencil. If your pencil or product doesn't have a brush at the end, you could use a clean toothbrush, or if you've got an old mascara that you finished, you could just clean that and use that. You can actually, as well, if you wanted to tidy that up, just use a clean mascara brush and go around it. That feels really strong because I'm not used to doing them as thick as that. But you'd be amazed how it'll come together once I've got my mascara on. So I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk mascara. This in particular, I think you really see the difference when you've curled your lashes versus when you haven't. Because I think this is especially good at making your lashes look quite long. So I've made a mistake there, not to worry for a moment. So if it's already good at making them look long and then you've gone in and curled your lashes as well, you're going to see a huge difference. I nearly said go ahead. Have you noticed? I've really noticed it, I think, because I'm watching more TikToks. It's quite an American thing that on the American tutorials they say they're going to go ahead and do something. It's like, I'm just going to go ahead and do my lip liner. I'm going to go ahead and this. So watch it now. At some point I'll end up saying I'm going to go ahead and do something, because that's what I've heard so much. Maybe I'll go ahead and do my lip liner now once I've done this. Okay, now, there we go. I've got 2 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Doll Beauty girls. I've got their own lip liners. They're really lovely. I haven't used these yet in a video, I don't think, but I've been having a play with them. They're very good at, if you're someone that, even if you like to wear, like with me, a lip balm or something, once you've put this on, it's not going anywhere. I'm still waiting for that to dry, by the way. I haven't forgotten about it. So I'm going to go in all over. You can see how there's still a colour payoff, even though I've got a balm on already. It's very good for building quite easily. And I'm going to plump up the outer corners of these lips. No. There we go. Now this is a fairly close match to one of my favourite VB lipsticks. This one's Sway. I'm just going to get that lip liner kind of on the lips as a base. I've obviously got my balm on already. And go in with this. There we go. And then let me tidy that little eye. And very quickly and easily, I am just going to go in with a bit of bronzer and highlighter. And this again is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I got one of these for one of my best friends for Christmas. And I didn't realise, but she'd not tried anything from Charlotte Tilbury before, and she absolutely loves it. So it's always nice picking things for people, isn't it? And if they like it, or it's something they wouldn't have got themselves and they end up loving it. But I'm just taking that through the forehead, a little bit down the nose. I already used the palette to do my highlighter, didn't I? So just a bit of warmth, and there we go. But there's a few things. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be talking to you soon. Enjoy your weekend.